welcome back to A Mama and Her Cookies. I'm the mama. This is my cookie. I'm not sure why she's a little bit sad today, but today we're going to talk about all of the tips, advice, and different items that were super helpful for us postpartum, especially in the first couple weeks postpartum. Turns out she was just hungry, so just be warned, she is a very, very loud eater. So one of the things that I found the very most helpful postpartum was a Peri bottle, and not just any Peri bottle. I've seen the ones they give you in the hospital, and it doesn't look like something that I would be really interested in because I have the Frida Mom Peri bottle. This one's really cool because it's actually portable. It comes with a little cloth case that you can put it in, so if you are going out and still are needing the Peri bottle, you can take it with you. The second thing is that it actually comes with this little angle on it, which makes it way easier to get where it needs to go. Another thing that I really loved postpartum was this Perineal spray, like an herbal Perineal spray. This one's from Earth Mama. It has a bunch of really good things in it. You can find it probably from a lot of different brands, but this has witch hazel, cucumber, lavender, peppermint, all those kinds of things in it. And it's very, very refreshing. It helps you feel clean down there. Even though you may have washed really well with the Peri bottle, this just helps you feel extra clean or a little bit more fresh at least. Plus it's soothing and calming and helps you feel better. So I would spray that on after every bathroom trip, and that was super helpful just to feel a little bit cleaner, a little bit fresher down there. Okay, maybe is this gross? Tell me, honey, if this is disgusting. There's no nice way to talk about bleeding postpartum. But once my bleeding slowed down a little bit, things were not as wet down there, and honestly, some of my, this might be really gross, some of my more raw skin down there would start sticking to my pads because there just wasn't a lot of moisture. So this Perineal balm was actually super helpful because it's just a little bit more adhesive. It has more of I don't know, a Vaseline texture to it. And so it's also really cooling. This doesn't say what ingredients are in it, but something that's very cooling, and it was really, really helpful. It felt so good. I don't have a filter on here so much. The first couple of days, I basically lived in these adult-sized diapers, which are not glamorous, and the mesh panties might have been a little bit better, but I didn't do enough research beforehand to know which ones I wanted to get, so I just literally a couple days before she was born bought these diapers. But I wore these as pants for the first several days, just because you don't want to put clothes on. Most of the time you're just kind of hanging out in bed anyway. There we are. There's my happy girl. All right, we're back. So while I never actually needed these, I never leaked onto them, it was so good for just a peace of mind knowing that even if I did have to go a little bit longer or something did leak, there was some protection there. Plus they're pretty comfortable for pants. After those first couple days though, I did feel I needed something a little bit more supportive, so I moved into wearing these almost biker shorts. They're really tight and compressed, and so it was really helpful to just feel a little bit more held in, if that makes sense. Now that may not be right for everybody. Some people may really not want anything touching anything anywhere, or if you're a C-section mama, you've probably got the whole compression shorts thing figured out, so that may not be a good tip for you, but for me it was really helpful. The Padsicles that I prepped beforehand were also super duper helpful. It was really nice to get just some of that cooling sensation down there, also a pad, also the different healing ingredients that were in them, like the witch hazel and the different essential oils that I used too. Another thing that we didn't get that I wish we would have gotten is a Boppy pillow or some sort of a supportive breastfeeding pillow. We just used extra pillows that we had around the house, but it probably would have been nice, and probably still would be nice, to have a dedicated pillow that's a little bit more supportive to just rest your arms on while you're breastfeeding or feeding your baby. But for us, honestly, the pillows work just fine. And honestly, some of the best advice that I could give you is the advice that you've probably heard from a million other people, but just take it easy, especially in those first couple days. Don't be afraid to just lay down, be horizontal. Your organs need to get back into place. You want to start healing up your abs and all that separation that happened while you were pregnant. So sleep, take naps, plan projects to do while you're in bed with your baby, and just take that time to bond. That being said though, something that was super helpful for me was actually getting up every day and putting on real clothes, doing my makeup, doing my hair, even if it wasn't anything more than just a braid. It just helps you feel more put together, more like your normal self, and less this sick zombie kind of state that you're in right after birth. Oh my! Oh, she just hit me! And even when you are feeling a little bit better, just remember to take it easy because the relaxant is still in your body, especially if you're breastfeeding. So anything that you would have done normally, stretches or things involving weight or I don't know, just even being tired, you could injure yourself a little bit, or just it's gonna hit you a little bit harder. Something that nobody really told me about, but I definitely should have figured out on my own probably, was to not forget to eat and drink. Like, here you are just having recovered from like one of the biggest things you're going to do in your whole life physically. And you are potentially nourishing this new little human. I just like didn't remember ever to like eat or like focus on really nutritious things. I should have probably asked for a little bit more help or accepted a little bit more help on that area, but I just didn't. So I ended up not drinking as much as I should or having like as nutritious of meals as I could have. Another thing to do while you are resting in bed, and especially in those first couple weeks postpartum, I personally recommend it like for forever, is pelvic floor exercises. They're not like real exercises. They're not like weight training or anything intensive like that. It really is just like focusing on bringing the connection back to your pelvic floor, tightening things up, helping any diastasis recti that you might have, which by the way, after you have a baby, you're gonna have separation. It's normal, it's supposed to happen, but you do wanna work on healing that up pretty quickly. And then obviously your provider can tell you if you have diastasis recti or not officially. So going along with that, avoid postpartum depression just like you would avoid any other kind of depression. If you've had depression before, you know kind of the things that help pull you out of that or like prevent you from going to that place. And if you haven't, just do the things that like make you feel happy. So for example, I love working out. I love moving my body. Obviously I couldn't do that in the same ways postpartum, but I did still make time, you know, even if it was 15 or 20 minutes, to go run over to the gym and just do some like foam rolling or some stretching or some of the pelvic floor exercises. That helped me remember that not only am I mom, I am still Micah. So that was the most helpful advice and the most helpful items that we had postpartum that worked for me. Let me know in the comments down below what was the best advice that you got or the most life-saving item that you had. We will see you guys in the next video and have a balanced day. Bye. Oh, baby. This is gonna be a nightmare to edit.
Don't look so sad.